Apocalypse Now is often regarded as one of the greatest, most harrowing portrayals of war ever put on screen. But the path to creating this film was just as chaotic, intense, and psychologically devastating as the story that it aimed to tell. So how did this legendary war epic come to be? What drove the production to the edge of madness? And how did this chaos shape not only the film, but also the people who made it? In today's video, we'll dive into the story, the infamously difficult production, and the impact of Apocalypse Now on creators and the audience. At its core, Apocalypse Now is an adaptation of Joseph Conrad's novel, Heart of Darkness, a story about a man's journey into the depths of the jungle and his own soul. In the film, we follow Captain Benjamin Willard, played by Martin Sheen, as he travels upriver in Vietnam on a secret mission to assassinate the rogue Colonel Kurtz, portrayed by Marlon Brando. Kurtz has gone mad, establishing himself as a kind of demigod among the local population, committing atrocities in the name of his own warped morality. The journey upriver is both literal and symbolic, as Willard descends into his own version of hell, mirroring the escalating horrors of war and the psyche of a soldier that has been lost to it. To say that the production of Apocalypse Now was difficult would be an understatement. The film was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, fresh off the success of the Godfather films. However, the ambition of Apocalypse Now quickly spiraled out of control. The production was plagued by setbacks from day one. Originally intended to be a 16-week shoot, the production stretched into 16 months. Typhoons destroyed entire sets. Millions of dollars were lost, and Coppola famously funded parts of the film with his own money, risking bankruptcy. One of the most shocking incidents happened to Martin Sheen, who suffered a heart attack midway through filming. Incredibly, he kept it a secret at first, afraid that production might shut it down. Sheen later described how the pressure and intensity of playing Willard had a toll on him, stating, "I didn't know if I was going to survive it."
He said he couldn't do it, and they had a nurse standing by, and I said, "Please, I must do this for myself. I beg you to leave it going." And he did, and he allowed me to wrestle, in a sense, with some demons that I had been wrestling with for quite a while. And now I was doing it in a public forum, and in a sense, I got them out.
And then there was Marlon Brando, who showed up to set overweight and unprepared. He had not read Heart of Darkness and improvised much of his role. Coppola had to rework entire scenes to accommodate Brando's condition and his unpredictable behavior, which was one of the many last-minute adaptations that gave this film its raw, unpredictable feel. The film itself mirrored the story it was telling, a journey into madness, a war against the self. When Apocalypse Now premiered at Cannes in 1979, it received a mixed reception.
My film is not a movie.
Mon film n'est pas un film. C'est pas du cinéma.
My film is not about Vietnam.
C'est pas au sujet du Vietnam.
It is Vietnam.
C'est le Vietnam.
It's what it was really like. It was crazy.
C'était comment était Vietnam réellement, vraiment, c'était fou.
And the way we made it was very much like the way the Americans were in Vietnam. We were in the jungle.
On était au jungle.
There were too many of us.
Et on était de trop dans l'équipe.
We had access to too much money.
On avait accès à trop d'argent,
too much equipment.
Trop d'équipement.
And little by little we went insane.
Et peu à peu, on est devenu fou.
The audience was both shocked and awed, some giving standing ovations while others criticized it as chaotic and unfocused. But as time passed, the film gained acclaim as a daring masterpiece. And Coppola himself would later say that the making of Apocalypse Now felt like going to war. The production took a toll on everyone involved, from actors to crew members. Coppola, nearly bankrupt and emotionally drained, said he was unsure if he would ever direct again. Sheen struggled with the psychological effects of playing Willard, describing moments of feeling haunted by the experience. However, the film's legacy is undeniable. It confronted the American public with the horror and absurdity of the Vietnam War in a way that no documentary or news report ever could. Its portrayal of the psychological toll of war resonated with audiences and filmmakers alike, becoming an inspiration for future war movies. Today, Apocalypse Now stands as a reminder of both the horrors of war and the lengths to which art sometimes must go to capture the truth. It shows us that sometimes the process of making art is just as chaotic, demanding, and all-consuming as the subject it aims to portray. In the end, Apocalypse Now is not just a war film. It is a meditation on human darkness, ambition, and the fine line between genius and madness. The making of the movie itself, with all its real-life chaos, seems to underscore that message. Coppola's vision may have almost destroyed him, but it left behind a piece of cinema that continues to haunt and inspire. Going off script for a second to explain my thoughts on the film. Personally, I feel the level of extremity that was reached on the set of Apocalypse Now was not warranted for what Francis Ford Coppola was trying to achieve. I feel a combination of Murphy's Law and ill-preparedness on behalf of some actors and some crew members caused a situation that somehow made lightning in a bottle. In any other situation, in any other film, with any other director, this would have been a monumental disaster, and the film probably wouldn't have made any money, and it probably wouldn't have become a cult classic as Apocalypse Now is currently. If there's anything to take away from the production of Apocalypse Now, I would say the Vietnam War is an extremely polarizing topic. It was also an extreme clusterfuck. Have you seen it? Did it affect the way you see war and films? Let's talk about it below. See you next time.